up, gentlemen? So today's video is not exactly easy for me to do because I need to clear some things up. I am 42 years old. I started working out when I was 12 years old in my basement with like sand-filled weights, right after seeing the movie Rocky. And, you know, fitness and working out and bodybuilding has been an absolute passion of mine my entire life. Long story short, I wanted to make fitness a career for myself. And so when I was 20 years old, I actually got certified by an organization called ACE to be a personal trainer. But this was 22 years ago. I was 20 years old. This is when I started personal training. And during this time, I started bodybuilding. When I got out of college, I met a dude. We opened a nutrition store. And this is really where I started my bodybuilding career. This was in like 1998, like 20 years ago. And back then, we didn't have the internet. It was just getting started, and a lot of the information and research that we had were books and magazines and people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dorian Yates. It was like whispered down the fitness lane, right? We all kind of learned from our wrestling coaches and our football coaches in the weight room, and this is where we learned about diet and nutrition and working out and building muscle. Bro science. A lot of it was bro science, and I think that's where the term comes from, but it was true. You learn from friends, you learn from people that have been there, done that, and look good. I was a bodybuilder. I competed. This was before like board shorts and classic physique. I had to rock the posing panties. But in 2001, baby, natural nationals, I won. During this time, I left the nutrition store, opened a personal training studio, and that didn't work out so well. But it was at this point that my seeking of knowledge in the fitness arena stopped. I've trained thousands of people. I've helped them get amazing results, and so I thought that I knew it all. Well, over the course of the past, I would say really it's been like 12 months or 2 years, I've realized that some of the information that I thought I knew as like fact is actually wrong. Today I'm going over workout tips I regret giving you because I was wrong. Number one is using the suicide grip when performing bench press. This is the suicide grip, and they call it suicide grip for a reason, right? Instead, what you should be doing when performing any exercise, including bench press, is wrapping that thumb. Now, for me, the reason I do it is because it's something that I've done for years and I'm comfortable, but it's not something I should recommend or tell you to do. Also, lifting your legs up and crossing them, not a great idea if you're looking to bench press for strength. That workout is not for beginners. Now, that being said, in the tailored program, the 6 Weeks to Living Lean that I developed, I do have beginner like information and tips for you guys just starting out. But that workout that they show, definitely not beginners. But the good news, if you want to grab the 6 Weeks to Living Lean, the program right now, bodybuilding.com is giving it to you for free. You're getting it for free. A 1-week free trial to all access, where you can get my program and give it a try. It includes my diet plan, which is totally solid. Just throwing it out there. It is an incredible diet for losing body fat and maintaining incredible sexy muscle. All Access has a ton of different plans, not just by me, by other amazing fitness professionals. And they've got something for everybody, whether or not you are just starting out, you're more advanced, you're looking to pack on size, or you're a hard gainer. Guys, they've got a program and plan for you. And right now, you're getting it for 1 week absolutely free. The link down below to our bodybuilding.com landing page, where you're going to find my list of the top 10 supplements to build a better body. There is also a digital scale that analyzes your body fat. Guys, it is ridiculous in terms of quality, accuracy, and the thing that I love about that scale specifically is that when you weigh yourself, it shows you in tenths of a pound. A good scale is a tool. It's something that every single one of you that works out should have, because it's going to help you understand what's happening with your body, whether or not you're gaining muscle, you're losing body fat, or you're skinny fat. That scale will help. I have recommended countless times doing behind the neck shoulder press. It's an exercise that I love. It's an exercise that I still do. But unfortunately, it is not something that I should be recommending. And honestly, it's a little bit negligent, in my opinion, at this point, knowing what I know. If you are completely healthy, I think that you can perform that exercise and get benefit from it. But it's one of those things where the risk doesn't necessarily outweigh the reward. There's all sorts of risk when you do a behind the neck shoulder press. Not to mention like impingement with shoulders, and it's just, your neck is in an awkward position. It's not a good exercise, and I shouldn't have recommended it, but unfortunately I did a bunch of times. A lot of the stuff that I've come to realize I was doing wrong has come by watching Athlean X and Jeff Cavaliere. He does, in my opinion, the best job from a biomechanical exercise explanation that's out there. Jeff knows his shit, just throwing it out there. The third thing that I've recommended that I still do because I'm comfortable with it, but I shouldn't be recommending it, upright rows. Upright rows, right? Zipping up a jacket. I've actually said that multiple times. Get those elbows up and all that good stuff. Once again, it's a matter of risk reward. And if your shoulders are the least bit unhealthy, it's a terrible exercise. Even if your shoulders are healthy, it's not a great exercise, and there are better options out there for developing the delts. Fourth thing that I regret, it's actually not something that I've told you, it's something that I have failed to tell you, and it's really something that I have come to realize in the past few months, is that I should have been recommending and focusing more on deadlifts. I've done some sumo, I've done a little bit of this, but in terms of trying to actually get strong in my deadlift is not something I ever focused on. About 6 months ago, I started doing deadlifts, and my God, my body is like, it's changing, it's crazy, but everything feels like harder, and I'm getting stronger, and my back doesn't hurt anymore, and it's something that I neglected to tell you to do, and for that, I'm sorry. Fifth mistake is all about calories and diet and being super freaking anal and strict and thinking, I can't miss a meal. If I miss a meal, if I miss an ounce of protein, my muscles are going to evaporate. Gentlemen, this is absolutely not true. Your muscles are not precious little snowflakes that are just going to evaporate as soon as you miss a meal or don't eat exactly the precise amount of calories or protein. The deal is this, guys. You need to eat consistently. You need to eat healthy, quality calories. But at the end of the day, if you miss a meal, it's no big deal. One thing that I do that I absolutely recommend you grab are some of these bodybuilding.com protein bars. If you're somebody who is looking for an amazingly delicious, healthy snack, these bars are the best. 20 grams of protein, 5 grams of sugar. These things, when I say these things are delicious, they're amazing. I'll eat 2 a day. I'll eat one like afternoon snack. And after dinner, I'll have another one. I honestly can't keep boxes of these at my house. I keep them at my office because I have no control over these things. They are so incredible. Sixth mistake that I have made over the years when it comes to gaining muscle is not knowing how many calories I needed. Winging it doesn't necessarily work. You gotta kind of know what your macros are depending on what you're looking to do, whether or not it's, like we said, building muscle or losing body fat. If you're trying to make progress in the gym, you need a baseline, and then from this baseline, you can adjust. But you gotta know where you're starting from and what you need. And then if you're looking to gain muscle, you add calories, lose weight, all that good stuff. I've done a ton of videos on that. Gentlemen, if you wanna calculate yours for free, that calculator is also on our landing page. Seventh thing that I regret not telling you or working on for myself is more functional strength exercises, more compound movements. I was so focused on bodybuilding, building big biceps and shoulders and chest and all that. My functional strength and my core strength wasn't as strong as it could be or should be. And I wish if I could go back, I would have focused more on the 3 big lifts. Having functional strength is so incredibly important and critical to you being physically fit and strong. And as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm realizing like, yo, I wish I would have focused more on some of the big 3 lifts and focusing more on my core as opposed to just building big buys. I'd like to wrap this video up by, once again, apologizing for giving you bad advice or bad information or information that was what I do, but not necessarily what you should do. I've just made some bad calls, but over the course of the past like 2 years, I really have understood that I need to do a better job in giving you better fitness information. Now, at the end of the day, I still feel like I know more about fitness, I know more about nutrition, I know more about diet than the majority of people on YouTube. That being said, I need to do a better job because if I'm going to be saying something, it needs to be accurate. And you know, I'm just basically here to apologize for not doing my homework, doing the research, and staying as current and up to date on something as important as you and your fitness. And so at the end of the day, guys, I just want you to work out because I know how it will change your life the way that it changed mine.